homicide.
Okay.
They should have been assassinated.
Because it's like you can't say you don't like black women and you're with someone who literally is trying to appropriate black culture or carry themselves like a black woman. So that's it. That's what throws me off.
That's one of the most integral days of black history is when Michael Jackson died. If we could reenact the feeling and like the impact of Michael Jackson dying, I think that would be cool. But that's anyway. That's like way down the line. But how was y'all Thanksgiving?
I mean,
do y'all call it Thanksgiving still too?
No, I always say enjoy your holiday weekend.
Okay.
And all my emails, I never say Happy Thanksgiving because I just feel like it's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I mean, I texted everybody Happy Thanksgiving. I was like, that was an L, but it's really Happy Holidays. Right. Like in all my work stuff, it's Happy Holidays. Everybody knows I don't really, it's just time with family.
Yeah.
How was your Thanksgiving, Xavier?
It was good. Was cooking food, so I was cooking until like 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day. So I missed a couple of houses that I was trying to hit my plates from. But other than that, it was good. Still got to eat a lot of food. My plates didn't seem like they lasted as long as they did last year. Like 2 days later, I was done.
Right.
I was like, where the fuck my leftovers at?
And I feel like that first plate, I saw this on Twitter. They said that first plate was swinging because I think I had 2 plates that day, but I might be able to get 3, 4 down sometime. But it was only 2 this time, so.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I only ate half of my plate.
Half of your plate?
Yeah, I fell asleep, woke up and ate the rest. Like, as you should.
So, KaBria, you were saying something. We should consider not saying Thanksgiving anymore?
No, I was thinking about that. Like, it's just weird. I think, like, as far as we're like learning more about like the true history in the country, how the holiday kind of came about, the origins of it, it's like just to be respectful to our like, native brothers, sisters, etc. Like we should really reconsider that.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
I agree with you, but that would be white people admitting they did something wrong, which is kind of hard for them to do. The white elites that run this country, the 1%. When have they ever? So it's kind of hard. I mean, I think it's good. Like the Redskins, that was something that you couldn't say. That's offensive to Native Americans. So they did change the football team. I'm sorry if I said it was offensive. I'm just saying an example. Bro. They changed them to the Commanders. So I think
they
the world
did better than that.
They could have did
better. They could have did better than that.
Better.
Just like the Cleveland Indians, they changed their name. Now they're just I think they're just C.
I didn't know they changed their name.
Yeah, they changed their name because they were getting backlash for their logo. It was literally just an Indian
right.
So they changed that, and now their logo is literally just a C. Like they said, if we can't be racist, we can't be creative without being racist. That's crazy.
It just shows who's in those rooms.
Exactly, but even with that,
like what the fuck?
You saw how much backlash there was against like just trying to change the name Redskin.
Right.
Like backlash from who? That's what be throwing me off. Like,
but you have to.
I know who, but it's just like, okay, are we listening to them or are we just doing what's right?
They're the ones in control and they're the ones in power. And when a society feels like, just like the kneeling thing, just like the Kaepernick thing, we've seen this over and over with the NFL. The place that Kaepernick wants to go back, by the way, he wants to go back there and play football again for the NFL. That same entity.
Let him.
That did it, but it's like, what else is he supposed to do? Kind of do
coach,
what we saw with what
be
we
an
saw
organizer,
with.
Coach, yeah.
But I mean, that's his career. That's his
go
passion.
to the XFL.
Yeah, go XFL. Start a Big 3 football league.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like split it up, like the PG, by the golf people, how they kind of split it up. But that was from that was a huge investment that was able to kind of change golf.
He just wants to go reinstate himself in the very structure that he tried to
dismantle?
Fight against, barely dismantle, fight against, or just try to shed light on their wrongdoings.
Right.
That didn't work. Well, let me go
back.
Let me go back.
See, we can have this debate one more time because my only thing is I thought he was about bringing awareness to the experiences of black people and police brutality, and I feel as if that was his main goal. He did do that. If it was about destabilizing and like destructing the system, no. But I don't think that was ever his intentions. So in my perspective, let me just ask even though it is, a system in a racist society.
Let me just ask you this: if you sued a company, do you expect to go back and work for them?
Well, the only thing is, like, when it comes to options and careers, like, if I was doing something I loved so much and I cared about and I, like, trained my entire life and I'm like, this is my passion, I always want to work, I just think that you guys should have treated me better. Yes. But that's me, because it's like, if you worked your life, if you worked hard your entire life to be somewhere and you're like, I'm very passionate about it and I don't like to be treated, it's like, it's a way for them to remedy their wrongdoings towards me, but also to like better the system in a sense.
Right.
In my opinion, but I don't know. I never like, I had the opportunity or thought about playing sports in college, but it wasn't my, go-to. But I could imagine like you're fighting your school about getting a degree and then they say, oh, like we're kicking you out because we don't like that you're advocating for this. And then all of a sudden, okay, we're going to offer the course. Like, would you not, if that was your dream school, go back?
No. The only reason you want me there is because you got caught up in your racism.
Let me tell you guys.
So why am I
no
gonna?
other system paying you that much?
But let me tell you a story. Let me
But
tell
he
you.
already has money too.
Right.
He has other avenues to go do other
He
things.
did win a settlement with the
football
NFL.
ventures.
He did win a settlement with the
Undisclosed
NFL.
amount.
Undisclosed amount. But let me just tell you something that happened recently in the news when it pertains to the NFL and racism and how that structure is. Jim Irsay is the owner of the Colts. Now, his dad was the owner before, so he inherited the team.
Wow.
In 2014, he got arrested for a DUI. So I don't know how this came up, but he was doing an interview, and the lady asked him, like, what did he think about his arrest back then? He said he thought it was a discrimination because he's a white, rich owner. And I guess he thought the rules should have been bent for him. I don't think he served time. Maybe community service, maybe some other bullshit, but he didn't really serve time for that 2014 DUI. And he felt like that was discrimination. So when I'm saying what I'm saying about Kaepernick, understand who you're going to work for. These owners, that's how they think. They think that they're discriminated against as a rich elite. You think you are discriminated against. Right. So for you to go back and work for them, I don't know. I get he wants to play football. I get that's a passion. I get you've been doing that since you were a kid. But it's kind of like we've seen what the NFL is about. And like even though we still mess with it because we're not organized as a people,
like,
we're not. I still watch it.
Football?
I'm not going to be. I'm never going to be like. I'm definitely and losing. I'm never going to be like the guy that casts any stones because I will have that NFL game on Sunday. But it just goes to show you, like, once you get out of that and once you already saw that, hey, they showing their face, bro, go do some other Kaepernick can have such a big impact on any other capacity in his life. Like, I would want to hear from him. Did he write a book? I know he has a documentary coming, I think, with ESPN next year, if I'm not mistaken.
Netflix.
He also had his Netflix thing, but I really, come on, bro. Like, give me a book or give me a doc or something so I can understand.
So you can hang it up. Give me a book so I can put it on my mantle.
With the afro, that would be cool.
To my Kobe doc.
The Neil with the afro, come on, bro. But yeah, I mean that's the NFL,
bro. But don't you? Honestly, to me, it just feels like just by him writing that letter, like really trying to make his way back into the NFL, it kind of just negates or like completely unjustifies. Okay. In my view, anything he was really fighting for in the first place, because like, what was changed? Nothing.
They put end racism on the field.
I'm just saying, once again,
they gave us a 10% discount on some jerseys, and it's like that. Oh, that's enough. It's
I'm gonna rewatch.
They didn't do enough. I'm just gonna come back. My fault. I tried my best.
I'm gonna watch his documentary and understand it because I just feel as if he did it to Neil to show people about police brutality and America needing to be raised to their standards and awareness. I don't think he's ever went about it to like.
Then he used this.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't think, but I don't think
he used. What are we talking about?
Once again, I'm just saying I don't think his end goal was ever to dismantle the NFL.
Okay, so if his end goal was never to dismantle the NFL, then why did he go on that entire run of it trying to dismantle the NFL, incorporate all the other players into going along with the protest, going on with the kneeling, and then going out and putting documentaries and Netflix specials and getting books and then putting on different organizations with the kids? If your idea wasn't, I'm trying to dismantle the NFL. If you're just trying to shed light on police brutality, you could have shed light on police brutality in any type of way instead of trying to start a revolution and then just jumping ship when it didn't go the way you planned.
It's my opinion. I'm just gonna say it's just my opinion. I mean, I'm gonna probably have to go back do some research, but I just don't think so. though. I think he was just using his platform as a player, as a mixed race player, to use America's pastime. Or no, that's baseball. But but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Using his platform to say like, hey, I'm impacted, or I'm family impacted, my community's impacted. Boom. I really don't think, because at the end of the day, if he wanted to fuck up the NFL, wouldn't he have just like left or like and then did that in another capacity? I think he was using his platform and saying we need to have changes. Everyone's watching me play. Everyone, like NFL, sports viewers, whatever. We need to get at America's heart, and this is a good way to do it.
I get that, but you have to understand. You have to understand, like, anything you stand for, like, it's going to come with a price. Revolutionary suicide. So even though he may have not thought that ahead, what the hell did you think was going to happen, Kaepernick?
But did he call for the firing of certain people? But I'm just really curious. Did he call for the firing? Or
once
he
you
said,
get backlash for something,
Black
you're
people,
changing.
let's get together.
The president of the United States said SOBs. Do you understand how big that story was, KaBria? It was the biggest story. But what I'm saying is he kept on kneeling. So you're standing for something when the backlash is at its highest rate. So if you're going to stand for it when it's at its highest rate, you have to understand what that comes with. It's revolutionary suicide. You're not going to be able to do the same things that you did when you made that stand. Bro, it's a line.
I get what you're saying.
It's a white elite line.
I'm just saying, like, once again, maybe he wasn't prepared for all of the backlash. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I just never saw him as, oh, I'm dismantling the system. It was just more so I'm bringing awareness to this issue. And I'm using my platform.
And shout out to him for what he did.
That's all I really got from it. That's really all I got.
If he was a college student or just a regular person, I would have a completely different view on this. Because as we know, we may not agree with capitalism.
Right.
But what else are you about to do? You're going to have to go to work. You're going to have to be involved in this institution, whether you like it or not. Now, I'm not rich. I don't have no money to fall on if I decide that I don't want to be involved in this institute of capitalism anymore. Kaepernick, understanding how racist and capitalistic the NFL is, decided to fight against it, kneel against it. But when it didn't go the way he envisioned, he wants to re-implement himself back into that institution where he does have the opportunity, unlike the vast majority of us, to go do a separate venture, to go love football in another aspect.
Right.
You can love football without playing for the NFL.
Okay, I get. Okay,
he has. That's what I'm saying.
You're
like
making
he
points.
has another option to do something.
The other athletes who have took similar stances and didn't give up their passion for the sport.
You don't have to give up your passion for the sport. You don't have to give up your passion for the sport.
Right? Didn't he have
hold on.
Let me make my point.
I don't want you to
make my point.
Before you make your point, I don't want you to compare who Colin Kaepernick was as an athlete to Muhammad Ali, who's arguably the greatest boxer to ever. There's a discrepancy,
but I'm
bro.
just saying, at the end of the day, they both made statements, but they both didn't.
At the end of the day, one was the greatest and one wasn't. So when you're talking about 6 to 7 years later, KaBria, you're talking about 6 to 7 years later. There's sports is a young man's game. Do you understand that? You can't come in and be off for 6 or 7 years and expect to get a job.
Kaepernick. I mean, I'm not gonna say that what Kaepernick did wasn't important or wasn't impactful, but at the end of the day,
he dropped the ball.
He wasn't. If kneeling meant going to jail, I don't know if he would have did it. Muhammad Ali is taking that chances. I'm not going to fight for this white man's war.
So to compare them,
I'd rather you lock me up.
I can't.
That is somebody standing on business.
Oh my God.
Standing on business. Now, standing on business does not mean, please let me come back to the NFL. Now, I'll be on the practice squad. Please let me come play with y'all.
And I guarantee
that is not standing on business.
I guarantee Ali would have not fought another fucking fight if he wanted, if need be. I bet he would have stood on business in that capacity.
All I'm saying is it's just a comparison about people using their platforms, sport figures using their platforms to make a statement and still return to the sport that they love. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it, but you're 6 years older than you were, and I mean, you were
and
barely.
That's crazy though, because
you were
he
barely,
don't even know if he could have been the great. I mean, I
no,
don't
he
know.
couldn't.
I didn't
I'm sorry,
really follow
KaBria.
Kaepernick.
I'm so sorry.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying it from a sports perspective. Somebody who watched
Kaepernick
it. No, he had his run.
You don't think he ever?
He had his run. You have to understand that he was getting benched before this all happened. So we have to understand we have to understand where he was as a player. And now you're talking about 6 to 7 years later, you haven't did a snap in the NFL. Are you crazy? the level of talent that's in the NFL.
And that to me, that's
can't.
unfair. And I'm gonna say that's unfair to say he's not ready, he's not prepared, he can't do this when he wasn't even allowed to.
And I'll give you that because the quarterback play in the NFL this year has been atrocious. But you can't take 6 to 7 years off a regular sport and then think you're gonna come back.
But he didn't take it off by choice.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. That's like saying, I don't know how to explain it. I wanted to be a teacher. I've been trying to be a teacher. I'm learning. I'm doing this. They're not letting me teach. Okay, now I finally trying to go back into teaching, and they're telling me I can't. I'm not gonna be a good teacher because the years they didn't let me become a teacher.
And what they do with their body and what they have to put
and I don't like the blame on him because it's like if he was to stay in. And he sucked, okay, but he wasn't able to stay in and play.
Bro, he's a good backup quarterback, but it's like why go back to be a backup quarterback and stand on the field and get a veterans minimum when you already sued this place. Right. But moving on,
everyone's making good points. Everyone's making good points. I'm just saying it's a passion, it's a love. I haven't felt that for any career or any job in my life, but there are people who have felt that way. So it's like some of them, it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter because I don't care about what I'm paid or what I'm doing. It's the fact that I just really love to do this.
But he's not Patrick Mahomes. Let me tell you that.
I really love the sport. Please let me sit on the bench.
Right.
Some people are like that. I'm not okay. I mean, I don't want to get like.
I'm saying, like, if you really love the sport and you understand, you're not going to be able to go back in any meaningful capacity. Instead of trying to suck up to the powers to let you back into the league, why would you not find another avenue in football, whether it be coaching,
we have
starting another league where you can actually do something meaningful? Like he literally saying, I know y'all are not gonna let me play anymore, but can I practice with y'all?
I'm saying I get that, for sure. I'm just saying once again, I think the love and what people have for certain things can transcend whatever they're willing to do. That's all I'm saying.
I get it.
I know that's it. I get you guys all make really good points, but that's all I'm saying. Yeah,
moving on. Guys, we are 1 year away almost. Well, we're past a year away from the president.
Oh God.
Of the United States.
I know it's been 4
candidacy.
years.
So President Joe Biden.
I know, that's insane.
Approval rating has declined to the lowest level of his presidency, 40%.
Why is that? What and I'm also curious where the fuck did we get in these polls from? I never got asked a poll about my presidency.
Yet what stands out in the new survey is the shift among voters ages 18 to 34. In September, 46% of those voters said they approved of Biden's job performance. What has really stifled Biden has been the war, of course, and how he's handled that amongst especially people that are in our age group, in that 18 to 34 range. So where do you guys see the country going? Do you see Biden winning again? How do y'all see this presidential candidacy again when all we know is they're going to do the same plots and ploys that they did, especially for African Americans, that they always do? So how do y'all feel about the new president of the United States in 2024 and that being Biden again?
Yeah, I feel like we're still in the era of LeBron versus Curry.
Right.
We already know who's
Warriors, Cavs.
Yeah, we already know who's going to be in the finals.
Right.
Now we're just going to see who's going to really show up this time, who's going to win. And like, I really don't know because when it comes to foreign affairs, because that's what a lot of people are focusing on right now, because we're looking at the genocides going on in Africa with the Congo and Sudan, and then the conflict, well, can't even really call it a conflict, but the atrocities going on between Israel and Palestine. And now we're seeing how Biden is handling that in comparison to how the rest of the country is kind of handling that at the same time. Like in California, we had that, there was a big protest at the Arden Mall. Free Palestine. There's protests around the country, Free Palestine, yet our president is very pro-Israel. He noticed some backlash.
Is he now, though?
He noticed some backlash.
Give him some benefit of the doubt for switching his tone a little bit. You have to give him, as a politician.
He switched it back.
He's in a,
I'm
trying to throw that old man bait. He
did kind of switch it, though. It was
I don't know, maybe it's his dementia, but like, he literally was like, the United States is standing firmly
on business.
We standing on business with our partners in Israel. Oh, the American people. Oh, they realize that that's a genocide.
Right.
Oh, well, maybe Israel needs to calm down. Oh, well, actually, I was lying. Fuck them niggas. Sorry, I'm not cussing anymore. But I was lying. We're gonna continue to support Israel and their genocide of the Palestinian people. And it's like, if Trump is doing that. And we know if Biden is doing that, and we know
what Trump's gonna do.
Yeah, we know how Trump handles his foreign affairs. Like, it's like, what are we voting for at the end of the day?
Right.
Like, hey, I hate to be that guy, but
I know what's going on in Ukraine and Russia.
I'm
just throwing it out there because now that I think about it, that used to be all over the news, and now it's Israel and Palestine.
They still getting
you know our we can't handle that much information at once.
Right.
I know, but
I'm actually really happy
I
to
kind of
see.
forgot about that.
I'm actually just really happy to actually see people talking about two separate conflicts at once.
Yeah.
Like, people are actually talking about what's going on in Palestine. People are actually talking about what's going on in Congo and Sudan.
Right. So
So it's like we are able to actually see that we can lend a hand to multiple people at once without it being a conflict of interest. Like, I can support one group in their plight and another group in their plight at the same time without feeling like I'm not giving enough attention to one. Like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're recognizing that these people need help. Give them their help in any means that you can.
Right.
But I'd rather that than just be like, well, there's nothing I can do. I'm just gonna go on TikTok. I'm just gonna go relax. There's nothing we can do anyway, because that mindset is the mindset, or not even the mindset. That mindset is the reason we are in the place we are now. We keep waiting for stuff to knock on our front door before we want to get involved. Like,
that's a good point.
It's like, stop waiting for it to come to the point where you have no choice. Why are you waiting till you have no choice? Because now at that point we're effed. Like, it doesn't even matter no more. We're trapped.
Right. KaBria, what you think about Trump v. Biden again?
I mean, I'm just, quite frankly, I just feel like it's just so interesting and amazing how much money and being white in this country can get you.
Yeah.
Like, that to me is like the whole presidential debate, like, since Obama left office, in my opinion. Trump, he won. Actually, I forgot, against Hillary. But they thought, hey, let's boost up a white woman. Okay, didn't work. Okay, Trump, backlash, white lash. Now we're back in the situation where we have Biden. Okay, he's a safer choice. And then we have Trump coming in. And it's like, that nigga has hella fucking, like, does he have hella felonies?
Yeah, I was like,
My whole thing
you gotta beat those first.
But let a black person have one misdemeanor, something on their record, and it's like all their opportunities and access to any type of generational wealth, etc., is just gone. And that to me is just very shocking. But like, how I kind of feel about it is just like, at the end of the day, I think like it's a conversation in regards to how are Americans doing right now. Like, yes, the wars are something, but like trying to figure out, how to make America affordable and actually reflective of the lie that they've been selling about the American dream, I think is going to play a huger role in this debate than people realize. And I'm saying that because it's like, to your point, like, we shouldn't wait. But then it's like, I mean, we've been saying it. It's like we're sending all this money and all these resources when we have unhoused people. We have people who are struggling to pay rent. We have people who, everything's a business. Everything's an investment. Like, we're not investing in our own people. And I think that's the huger issue. And then on top of not investing in our own people, we're dividing our own people on all these dumbass issues. And I think Trump is really good at scapegoating and like redirecting the attention and responsibility in a way where he is able to get on top and make sense to people. But I think it is unfortunate that Biden is put in this position when he came into office trying to clean up a mess from Trump. And obviously, well, not all the way on Trump, because I know like a lot of things that like Barack had put in place actually helped us, and Trump took credit for, like healthcare, et cetera, COVID, et cetera, like the resources, money, whatever, and like whatever. But my whole point is like, it's kind of unfortunate that it's like, dang, like, it's kind of unfortunate that Biden is the choice, because I just feel like it just kind of shows you like, I mean, not
he's
way,
80,
like, it's
he's
unfortunate
81
both
years
of them are the
old.
choice, but it just also shows you like American government and the fact that it has been so, it has been only like I would say the leisure and the privilege for certain people in the country to even familiarize themselves with it, get involved, and actually have the resources to run, get elected, etc. I just think it's just the issue in general with who we elect, how we elect people, the money that goes into elections, and like accountability, period. And I think if we would have saw more like younger people involved, more participation, and like I forgot what is that called, like voter participation and like civil, what is that called, civil education or whatever, we wouldn't be in the place that we're at. But we're in the place that we're at because at a young age, we're not encouraging people, hey, let's pay attention to our politics. Let's pay attention to local politics. Hey, you should be able to run if you, like, it shouldn't be based on investments and money you get. It should be based on, hey, everyone has a set amount. Let's do a survey. Let's do an outreach. Let's do something else in a way where we're not seeing money and, like, also, what is it called? Legacy and access to resources running our politics. Because then we see that disconnect that we're seeing up with Biden and down on the ground with Americans.
And we've been seeing that, it seems like, since the political system was birthed. So,
and this is the results.
Right. So
America's still a young country, though. If you think about it, America's a young ass country. So it's like we haven't learned, like, okay, shit, American dream. Okay, we can't keep this facade up. And I think that's also where it's Biden who's trying to keep some type of this facade, and then it's Trump who's like, fuck the facade. I know who I'm helping. Yeah, and it's like, it's weird, you know. It's like that weird.
Yeah, it sucks and then at the end, because like we know, like the only reason we're even putting like Biden at the forefront over like a Gavin Newsom, or the only reason that we think that they would do that is because we understand we have to put a figure in there that can even go toe to toe with the Trump, because we understand that when Trump is running for office, the people that vote for Trump, they don't vote for Trump because they necessarily agree with his politics. They're voting for him because he's polarizing. They're voting for him because he's a fucking culture vulture.
Economic.
He's just gonna go in there and cause trouble. And it's because, like, even if you look at the polls of the people who are Trump supporters, their views don't even necessarily align. Like, you have a group of Trump supporters who are pro-abortion. You have a group of Trump supporters who are anti-abortion. Yet they're voting for the same person. Right. His Trump supporters vote against their self-interest. They're voting because they like Trump at the end of the day. So it's like, what does the Democrats have to do? Are we going to put somebody at the forefront who we know people just necessarily agree with their politics? Or are we going to put somebody at the forefront because we know people would rather have him than Trump? It's like, and that's exactly how it's like, that's the only way we've been able to vote for like the last 8 years.
Exactly. And then it actually makes me wonder, as far as like what we're seeing with Newsom kind of being taken underneath the wing of the Biden administration, are we trying to see like, hey, let's introduce this person, let's see if he's the phase, let's test it out, let's see if he's a good replacement. But you get what I'm saying? Like, as far as like, how are we picking our leaders? Like, how are we? And that's interesting. I mean, it's interesting to say, but it is very like, when it comes to the Democratic Party, how well are the people involved at identifying a potential presidential candidate and building them up throughout their career, so that we don't have the situation where it's like Biden, because at the end of the day, I feel like Biden, and the reason he's up there, like you said, black people, he's associated with Obama. So like, Obama needs to get his fucking like credit, period. And I would say that 110%. But yes, he does. I mean, I'm just saying, I really do think that, because we can't choose Obama, and it's like, okay, who's our next good bet that a lot of people know?
Yeah, I mean,
Biden.
Yeah, you know what's crazy?
With Obama. That's really how I feel, and that's how he's getting a lot of black votes. But like, with that being said, I'm just saying, like, there has to be some type of training. There has to be some type of like bringing the other person up, and that's why I think Newsom is a really interesting test to this. Like, and he's not doing as well, but it is to seem like, hey, he could be the president. Let's see, he's doing all this, he's advocating for this, he's doing this and doing that, but damn, he's missing something.
Yeah, and even with that, he said that Kamala's gonna run before he runs. He's like on his debate on Fox with Ron DeSantis, Sean Hannity, the moderator, if you want to call him a moderator, because that man was fighting for Ron DeSantis' life. But he kept asking him, like, if at the convention they asked you to run, you're telling me you're not running, and Newsom's really saying, like, bro, 100% I'm not running. Biden is going to be our candidate, and if he doesn't run, it's going to be Kamala, which he's
going to be a VP or some shit.
But he's
also not doing that shit just for fucking shits and giggles.
Exactly, but I will give him his a slight prop, because he did stand up for Kamala. So, because DeSantis was like, Kamala, and he's like, nigga, it's not Kamala, it's Kamala, come on.
I'm heckling. But I mean, but it's also interesting, because then it's like I was saying, like, who is behind the Democratic Party? I mean, I want to see this machine. No, I'm just saying I want to see the beast. I'm talking about, I'm just talking about, like, I'm talking about the people in the building, the staff, the people who's like actually sitting there like strategizing, because I just feel like even if they do put Kamala up, she needs to do a lot more than I think they're even aware of to even be in that position as a black,
Kamala
as a
has
woman,
no
already a woman.
as a woman, but also as a woman of color too.
Exactly.
And that's where I don't think like the Democratic Party, like to the point like, oh, our values and shit, it sounds good. It sounds nice, but when it comes to actually implementing it and actually strategizing, I think the Democratic Party fails. And I think it's nice to have Biden versus Trump, because if it was Harris versus Trump, I don't think. I think Trump would win.
Yeah, literally setting her up for failure at that point. Right. Because we already know how we feel about women in this country, and then we already know how we feel about black people in this country.
And
so we got a black woman running for president against one of the most
she has no chance.
outwardly racist presidents ever.
And
like,
that's
that
the thing. So if he loses again, okay, boom, and he's gonna run next, and he's already at his limit. So it's like, okay, put Harris up. That's a tricky move, and then you get Gavin, you get Newsom to be her VP to try to boost her up. That's a hard move, and that's the thing. And then on top of that, like so much dirt and like her career and what she's done, and like with black people in the country, it's not a good. To me, I don't know. Strategize. It's not a good strategy for the Democratic Party. So it just like it's giving me flashbacks to 2016. Situation, like what the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah, I mean, it always feels like
looking to recruit.
Yeah, it's like it really does feel like just the Democrats just be kind of just going through the motions, like not really strategizing. Because even with that, if the next one up is either a Kamala or a Gavin Newsom, you rarely hear anything from Kamala. And then even with Gavin, like just him and his with his debate with Ron, after listening to Gavin speak, I'm like, do I really like this man? Like, he was going off a little bit, but at the same time, he was getting walked. And, like, he's getting walked by lies. And he's, like, not going against that enough. He's just sitting here letting Ron DeSantis talk and spew this nonsense and then just, like, not giving it any sort of rebuttal. And it's like, why do we keep putting Democrats into power who are scared to fight against these Republicans? It's like, can we get a fighter in the ring if we're gonna put one of these scrubs in the ring in the first place?
Because there's no viable candidate. If you really even look back to 2004, Obama saw an opportunity to run. Like, there was no viable candidate in 2004, so Obama didn't come out the woodwork with his intelligence, with his charisma. We're looking at a completely different America. Even though I don't like giving him credit.
Yeah, because it's dang near Obama's fault that we didn't hold any standard to Biden. Because how are we gonna hold Biden to a standard?
Y'all didn't hold the black person.
Yeah, we didn't even hold a black person to a standard.
But moving on.
Say anything about Obama. So.
Yeah, shout out to Obama.
Obama said he's pro-Israel too.
You're not about to hear me say anything,
bro. Just because somebody, Xavier, stop. You got to stop doing that, bro. Just because somebody says pray for Israel, just because somebody says something like that, does not mean they're pro-Israel. Stop. He put out a statement that said we're praying for the families that were involved.
No. Okay, and if he did, why are you saying that right now?
He can say that if he wants to, bro. He's a politician. Stop. He's a politician.
Yeah, he's a politician.
If anybody dies, he has to say something.
Obama is a politician.
He's the one who's ever
is a billionaire.
He's the
they have
first
transcended
who's ever
being black.
He's the first who's ever done it. Obama
has transcended being black by being a politician.
That is true.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I really do, but I'm just saying, and that's the thing. And I feel like, as a people, I know we have a hard time critiquing, and I get it, but I'm like, just give him grace.
Give him grace for what?
That's the problem.
In the face?
That's the problem.
Outside of what he did during his presidency, we're not talking about the drones right now. We're just talking about we're just talking about understanding the pull Obama has, like with black people or with American public in general, in the face of a genocide. Instead of condemning Israel and promoting Palestine, he's playing the Trump card. There's good people on both sides. Jewish person, every person in Israel agrees with their government.
So my nigga Kanye was right?
If you say anything, Kanye's a fucking idiot. Why are we talking about this dumbass nigga right now? I'm not anti-Semitic. I just fucked a Jewish bitch. Nigga, shut the fuck up. I re-listened to his part on that part with my boy Schoolboy Q. This nigga's been washed for years, and we just letting him off the hook because that's fucking Kanye, and we just like looking him at his past. That was my boy. I love Kanye. Looking back at this music, this nigga has been a lost cause for years. We just love the fact that we view him as such a big creative. He's crazy because he's a genius that we're gonna let him off the hook. That's what the same thing I've been telling y'all niggas on the Under 3000 podcast. Y'all idiots keep letting these artists off the hook because you are in love with their old projects. People grow. Nigga, Hitler was a fucking painter. Are we cool with Hitler now because he made some dope art? Like, what are we talking about?
He didn't even make it through art school.
Like, what are we talking about?
I don't think he did. But
Like, what are we talking about?
I mean, he did have some gems. He did have some gems.
I don't even understand. What are we agreeing to disagree on?
I just think that
if Obama is there to help Biden, just think about that. It's all politics.
So
that's
okay,
all
so
I'm saying. Even
so
if he doesn't agree with
why
it,
are we looking at Obama as like some grace or savior of black people?
Because I love Obama.
That's the problem.
Okay, yeah,
that's the problem.
We have to look at the people that we love.
And I love
he don't care about
and
us.
I love Rihanna. I don't care. I just like the fact at the end of the day, what Issa Rae said, I'm rooting for everybody black. And when we have more people coming up,
keep rooting for everybody black. Keep rooting for the system and the shit that has put us in the predicament that we're in.
I'm just saying what I'm saying. And now I'm saying we can learn from them. And I'm just saying, like, let more black people get in that space before we start critiquing. Because if you're the only one who's been in that space and you've done that, you've been able to succeed or whatever, of course you're going to have the system kind of influencing you in a way. But once you get more black people in there, more people who have the same values as you, then it's like, okay, now we can start critiquing.
Well, I don't think that's ever going to happen in our lifetime.
It's just like rap. We can sit here and critique all the rappers because what? The majority of a lot of them are black. But I'm just saying, you're going to come on critique. If it was only one rapper, we're going to be like, oh, like, it sounds like early hip hop haters. That's what it gives us. It's like, what the fuck are they talking about? I hate that, I hate that, I hate that. And then it's like more people start doing it, and then it's like, okay, now we can critique it and we can understand the different levels of hip hop. And that's the same thing I'm saying that apply to Barack, to Beyonce, to Rihanna. Let there be more people who's able to extend in
Absolutely
that way.
Not.
Then you can talk about them.
But just gonna let them pass.
Even from that perspective,
that's my opinion.
we can look. There are people like Rihanna. There are people like Beyonce. At the end of the day, those niggas are billionaires.
I get
there
what
is
you're
no
saying.
ethical way to obtain that much amount of money.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
right.
saying. Once you make it to that point,
is that
you're
not
a billionaire.
reparations?
You have transcended being black. You are not black anymore. You are a billionaire. Obama, by being a profitable, prominent politician, has transcended being black.
I get what you're saying.
He's not acting on the best interest of his people. Rihanna isn't acting on the best interest of her people just because and literally just for her.
You think all black people are
all black billionaires,
monolithic or
all
whatever?
black billionaires.
I'm saying if you think about it. I'm just saying, like, I get your point, but I feel like if you're on that level that you said that they are, it's because they're not speaking to one group or one set. It's like it would be hard to speak for all black people.
I just feel like
it wouldn't.
There is
yes, it would.
Just being in that state in general is gonna make you ethically a bad person because there is no way to make $1 billion.
You're right. You
ethically.
Are right, though. You are
the
right.
only way she can obtain that much money is by exploiting people. And living in a capitalist society, we know who the first people are going to be exploited are the poor people. Living in a racist society, we know who that first person is going to be. It's going to be black and brown people.
So to your point,
just by her being a billionaire, she is shitting on black people.
Right. And to your point, like the whole Rihanna situation and the whole issue is like you have the money, you know where your people are from, you should be able to pay them more and give them better benefits.
Exactly.
I get what you're saying. Like overall, I do get what
you know what she said? She said, "Oh, we work through a third party company, so they go and source the resources that we need." So now she's acting like, "Oh, just because I'm working through this company, I don't know. Now I don't know where these resources are coming from, and actually, I don't know where they're really sourcing this from." It's like.
That's actually a really good.
That's a good loophole.
Yeah, a very good loophole.
Or you know what could be better? Know who you're doing business with.
I mean, yeah, but that's why a lot of things that we do is outsourced.
Yeah, because nobody wants to be held.
Up.
Nobody wants to be held responsible. No. They know this is child labor. They know this is blood diamonds.
Well, I never bought Fenty, so I can't really say nothing.
I have.
I know. I kind of want some. I just
like
said that. I wonder if it'd be cheaper.
Clothing,
I can't.
Her makeup. It's like you can't be a billionaire.
Beauty?
Yeah. Her minerals for her makeup sourced unethically in Africa. Her clothing received a less ethical score than Fashion Nova, who got caught up in child labor.
Really?
Like
I didn't really like Fashion Nova. I'm trying to get back into
that much money without being exploitive. Like it's literally impossible.
You're right. Being a billionaire in this state, in this country,
so how can you be? And so speaking on Obama, how can you be a successful politician? You have to exploit black people.
You can't, and
you have to promise black people one thing and then do the complete other.
Yeah, you can't, and I get where both your perspectives are.
Yeah, for sure. I was so passionate.
I kind of agree with like it's so hard for us, especially being black people, and especially being talented and having a resource that we never had, and we're changing generations and generations. I don't think everybody really considers the true repercussions of their actions. Like LeBron James, he didn't say nothing about China at the time. Do I blame him? It's hard. It's hard because we have other stuff we have to deal with.
What happened with
And
China
he just said, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Oh, when they were locking.
Because he ain't trying to lose.
China
his money.
is one of the biggest income places of LeBron James shoes.
I'm actually really glad you brought that up because I don't know if you guys know who Brittany Broski is. The like, if you ever saw like that
Griner?
That's what I was thinking. No, I was like,
not Brittany Griner. But Brittany Broski, she's like this white YouTuber comedian. You guys might know her as the Kombucha girl from back in the day on like Twitter and shit like that. But either way, she's this white girl who became really popular because of that meme. So now she has like over 1 million followers on Instagram, and like she has a podcast and does multiple like entertainment creators on YouTube. Right. She was told by one of her fans like, "Hey, are you not gonna say anything about Palestine?" And she posted a video like, "I'm the last person that should be saying anything against Palestine." Like, so even though she has over 1 million followers, she has good reach with her audience. She has even in the past spoken on issues before, understanding that her platform does have value. So if we look at our creators, our entertainers, our athletes, who literally understand that the idea of having a platform is how they survive. That's how they make their money. They understand the value of having an audience, of having a platform. Right. But now when we ask them to use that platform to speak out against injustices, now their platform doesn't have any value. Now their platform doesn't mean anything. You know why their platform doesn't mean anything? Because they understand that they're going against the economic grain. LeBron knows I can't say shit about China because now my bag's gonna be fucked up with China and my bag's gonna be fucked up in America.
He could just say that.
Brittany Broski knows I can't say anything against Palestine because I live in the West where the media is run and we're very pro-Israel. I don't want to mess up anything with my sponsorships. They're not saying anything, so we're letting people get away with not using their platform for anything positive when they know that their platform is used to make them millions of dollars on a daily basis. So it can only be used to exploit us for making money, but it can't be used to talk about our plight. That doesn't make sense to me.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Like the same way we let these rappers, like why are we letting rappers, like I just saw Cameron do a freestyle the other day. Why are we letting Cameron? Why are we letting Lil Durk? Why are we letting all these rappers who no longer live that life? Yet, when you listen to their music, all they're talking about is living in the hood, selling drugs still. Like Pusha T's 75 years old. Every song he drops, he's talking about him selling coke. He the coke man. Call me Mr. Snowman. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? You don't live that life anymore. Yet, all you talk about in your music is living that life. So, at what point are you talking about your situation versus exploiting black people and promoting and subjugating black people to continuing that cycle? You don't live that life anymore. So it's like we're letting our creators and our entertainers literally exploit us, and our response is, well, I like the song. I like Obama and what he did for some black people. Like I like this album. We're letting them get away with so much shit for the little that we like.
Okay, and last point, KaBria.
I know. I just feel like at the end of the day, like you're making good points and stuff like that for sure. But I just feel like, for example, on this platform right now, like, okay, if we had a large follower, if I never spoke about certain thing and I never cared about something else, no matter where my people are coming from to support me, I wouldn't feel comfortable or want to speak about it. And I'm gonna be honest.
But I understand
if you on our staff, it's black, and someone's like, you guys need to make a statement. It's like, first of all, like, my audience is black people. I'm focusing on black issues. It's like, it would be like very hard for me to make a statement on something that I never followed. And then also on top of that, if it's my platform, I mean, yes, the audience. I mean, damn, this sounds like Doja Cat. This sounds like Doja Cat. Like, it's my platform that I created based on what I wanted to put on here and based on the connections I made. Who are you to tell me what to say or what required me to do something?
Yeah, I'm the person. And I get that. The people that are telling you what they want to see are the people that are viewing your content, giving you the money.
Right, and I get that.
At the end of the day,
I get that. That's just a risk I think people have to face. That's it. And I mean, I'm just saying it is wrong to be like, hey, you need to do this, or I want you to do this way. And it's like, at the end of the day, like, I get it. It is like you are exploiting and whatever, but it's like, at the same time, aren't you exploiting that content creator?
I get
You get what I'm saying?
I understand that,
give and take
but
situation?
I understand that if that was a complicated like issue,
But
like
it might be complicated for some people.
But it's really not. You can just literally just do a slight
post a flag.
Not
Is
the
that enough?
I'm not saying like posting a flag. I'm saying like if you just go online and do like research for 5 minutes, you can see that the issue going on between Israel and Palestine is not that difficult to understand. One people had a land, one group came over there, forcibly kicked them off their land, and have been bombing them for 75 years, giving them no power, no electricity, that's the same thing, no water, no food, no access to any medical equipment or any products coming in and out of their country. I don't understand.
I think
we're not asking her. We're not asking her to go and write a fucking thesis.
Right. And
we're asking her to say, "I condemn genocide." You can't even say that.
Well, okay, that's different. But
It's
I just
like,
think at the
it's
end of the day,
I'm never gonna be on pro like Kendrick Lamar had a fucking song about this. I'm not your savior. So if we're looking at athletes or celebrities to be our saviors and to be the ones that are gonna stand up for some shit when we already know they're in the business of making money and profiting off our bodies. I don't understand why we're holding them to that standard.
But do you not understand? Like, we're not holding nobody to any standard.
Y'all are holding them if you're trying to tell them what to put on their platform. But we got to move on, bro. We got to move on.
So why would we not want to hold our content creators who we understand?
Because we don't even hold our country. So how are we going to hold LeBron if we don't hold our president?
Exactly. We don't hold anybody to a standard.
So I'm not gonna start on LeBron James when the president of the United States
we're just not
is
gonna
racist.
hold anybody to a standard ever because we just never did it before.
I'm gonna start with the politicians. I'm not gonna start with the black athletes. I can get what KaBria is saying in that space. We don't hold Joe Biden accountable. So why am I gonna hold LeBron James accountable?
Why are we waiting for issues to be at our doorstep before we say anything? You have over 1 million followers on YouTube.
That's not going to do nothing saying.
Nigga, you have over 1 million.
I agree. It's hard. I agree.
Every video you post gets over 1 million views. You can't take 10 seconds to shed light on an issue that we understand. A lot of people in this country don't even understand because our source of media is feeding us lies.
I mean, I love that. That's something for me to think about. Huh. Interesting.
All right, guys, we left you with a pretty heated debate. A lot of content today.
Dress for guys.
Thank you for tuning into The Rising. See y'all soon.